Well, hello, everybody. Mamas, we are here to talk about tip number 5 to get your teens organized. We've been talking about organization all week, and we're wrapping it up by focusing on learning styles. So, I want to know, is your teen visual, auditory, or kinesthetic, tactile, hands on, whatever you want to call that third style? But I want to know, how does your teen prefer to learn? Which particular style? If you've got a guess, if you know for sure, drop it below. If you don't know, that's okay too. I hear that at my webinars all the time that parents just don't know. And that's usually problem number one when our teens are struggling in a class and we don't know how they prefer to learn. Well, if we don't know this works and this doesn't work, well, that makes it very, very tough for your teen to succeed in every single class, and it makes it tough for your teens to get organized. So we're going to be diving into this concept of learning styles over the next few minutes. So be sure to stick around with me. Also, if you want to learn more about my Learning Style Tools for Teens guide that I would love to give to you as a thank you for watching, stick around as well because you'll be dropping the word learn so you can get that guide, and I know you're going to want to know more about it at the end of the video. All right, the first point before we dive into the individual learning styles that I want to make is that one, our teens need their own system. It needs to be personalized, okay? The biggest thing I want you to understand, mamas, is this: not every single system of organization is going to work for every single teen. Your teen needs a say, and it needs to match your teen's interest. And most importantly, as you're going to find out here in a minute, it needs to match your teen's personal learning style. Okay, your visual learner is going to organize very different than your auditory learner. Your kinesthetic learner is not going to use the same system as your visual learner. Okay, there might be some crossover, but honestly, this method, whatever this means to you, to your teen, it needs to somehow be visual. It needs to somehow be auditory. It somehow needs to be kinesthetic. Now, if you don't know how your teen learns, I have a link I'd love to share with you. Definitely, can drop that down below. Better yet, let's talk one-on-one, talk with Jessie, so that way we can talk it through together. Because, yeah, there's a really quick online easy assessment I have all of my students take before we go through my Love to Learn study program together. But generally, with a couple of questions and sometimes even just meeting teens, it's like, I bet they're this or he learns this way. And I'm not usually wrong. So, getting a little off topic, but definitely do know learning styles are a key part to organization. All right. If you're watching, like, Jessica, tell me more, or tell me how I can get my teen to organize based on our learning style. Here we go. So, visual learners, they love colors. They love pictures. So the simplest thing that I can tell all of you that are watching who have visual learners, or maybe you yourself are visual, is colors are going to be your friends. Okay, so in school, different folders, different colors represent different classes. That's organization. And you can take it even further if your daughter has, say, a yellow folder for a class, and then she has a yellow notebook for her notes in that same class, and has needed, a yellow binder. Okay. You could also take it, like what I did in school, is that different colors of pens for different classes. So that way, as soon as your daughter opens up her notebook, maybe we don't have enough color choices, or we have already bought our notebooks for the year, or, whatever. Different colors can represent different classes, because when your daughter opens up her notebook, sees blue pen, oh, I only take blue notes in history. Boom, there's the visual cue, an organization, so that way we know the blue notes need to stay together, and I only ever use blue pen in history. Okay? Our auditory learners, they're all about hearing. They're all about sounds. They're all about music. So, a couple different ways to make this a method of organization. Number one could be that your son, your daughter has a song. Okay, you think about things like washing our hands, and we sing like the ABCs, or we sing the happy birthday song. That right there is an auditory connection to an action. Okay, I wash my hands until I'm done with the song. So now I ask all of you, for your teens that are auditory, how can you tie music into something that your teen needs to organize. Okay. It could also be recordings. That's a big part, especially in this day and age with technology. Your teen could do something like record himself saying, what homework he has, what tests he has, and then just literally have auditory. Okay. So before I share the kinesthetic, the hands-on ways of being organized, I want to say thanks for watching on YouTube and on Facebook. Be sure to subscribe, be sure to follow, because today is the last video of this particular series, but it's not my last video to help your teens love to learn through study skills. So I, Jessica Coulter, CEO and founder of Ace Cookie Tutoring and Study with Jessie, help teens love to learn through study skills. So your teens can actually learn how to learn. So if you want to watch more videos, I want you to be a follower, subscriber, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss any future videos. All right, now that we got that out of the way, for all of you that are listening and wondering, okay, kinesthetic learners, they're hands-on, how does that have anything to do with organization? Well, the key is, how can we tie in movement, action, some kind of hands-on activity to organization? And the easiest answer to this that I love for students when it comes to organization is sticky notes. Okay, your teens can get organized by putting assignments on sticky notes and then putting those sticky notes in different places. Okay, we talked about a homework folder earlier this week. Well, maybe your teen uses a different sticky note for each class or each assignment, whatever's going to work best. And then your teen has a folder, and on one side is tests and one side is homework. Or he makes a list, like a T-chart, and that's like done and to do, like done and not done. And again, those sticky notes get moved from place to place. Okay. Or even something like we talked about earlier. I love whiteboards. Those are one of my biggest, tools that I suggest for organization. Your teen filling out that whiteboard or erasing things or marking things off on the whiteboard, that's all kinesthetic as well. Okay, so lots and lots of ways to tie in learning styles to your teen's organization. Like, we just barely scratched the surface. So if you've got questions, I want to answer them for you. Best way to do that is one-on-one through a talk with Jessie. So I hope to talk to you soon. And a great place to start this discussion of learning styles to really help your teens figure out, okay, how should I get organized? What's my method? Well, I want you to get my Learning Style Tools for Teens guide. Drop the word learn below so I can email it to you. So thank you so much. Have an awesome holiday weekend, and I can't wait to see you next week as we dive into a new series all about helping your teens love to learn through study skills. Bye, everybody.